I wanted to introduce you to this 2018 Kenny Hill Signature Model guitar. This one features a Bear Claw Spruce top. It's actually a double top. There's a layer of cedar underneath, but I want to see if you could catch a little glimpse of this Bear Claw. I'll show you here in a second. Anyways, the back and sides are made of acacia wood, which you don't see as often on classical guitars, but it's really gorgeous. It looks similar to Indian rosewood, I would say, in natural light, but a little bit oranger, and some really cool patterns here. If you can see that, I'll give you an up close look. Okay, and maybe another look at that bear claw. Let me see if I can get it in the right light so that you can see. I only get a small image preview on the camera, but I'm going to twist it around here at all different angles so that maybe you can catch a glimpse of what it looks like. It's very obvious in person, but it's a peculiar thing with reflections and lights to try to get the pattern of this guitar on camera. So other things about this guitar, it has a pickup built into it, and actually these are the type of pickups, I forget the name of them, but they're the type that Kenny Hill prefers. You can see it's black rather than a bone nut, and it's an under saddle pickup. So that minimizes the amount of feedback you'll get. There's also an input jack down here for that. And on his later model guitars, I've been noticing that instead of a silver spot to put a strap, he's actually got a black spot here, and it does not interfere at all. I like the fact that it's black. It matches the fingerboard and sort of blends in. It's not a shiny thing that sticks out to an audience. You would never notice it's there. When the guitar is like this, you can't even see that. This is a 51 millimeter nut, so a little bit thinner than normal. Also a 640 scale guitar. So this is probably built for someone with either a little bit smaller hands or a little bit less of a reach in their fingers. That being said, my hands are not small by any measurements, but the guitar still feels very comfortable for me to play. In fact, a lot of colleagues of mine have even mentioned that they think it's almost pointless to have a 650. Like, who really needs a 650 scale guitar? When 640, it's not like my fingers don't fit on these frets. They still fit completely fine. I have to say, this is one of the more beautiful Kenny Hill guitars I've seen, and also that I've played on. One of the things that sticks out to me is just how little you have to move your hand for the color to change. Let me demonstrate. There's a huge palette of colors, and this guitar, you can just hear swelling with volume. It's just, it lasts forever, this low E. It's still very loud. It's not a partial of the note either. You still hear that low E, right? It's still going. And the sympathetic harmonics, all the vibrations coming from the sympathetic ringing of the other strings. Very even. This reminds me of a Kenny Hill that I almost bought at a GFA back in, I think, 2018. It was actually a Cedar, but this one reminds me just of that. Very easy and comfortable to play with this raised fingerboard. That's something I forgot to mention here. And it's a 640 and a little bit thinner than the typical 52 millimeter nut, being 51. It's just, it makes me wonder why I don't have all 51 millimeter nut guitars, because it's also, you can hit this open E string pretty loud and not have it buzz out. Of course, when you start playing really hard on these first strings, it starts buzzing. But that's rest stroke, really loud apoyando, whereas very reasonably volumed notes. Do not buzz, as well as rest stroke on the first, second, and third strings. it's just a very expressive instrument. You can really hear yourself well because of these sound ports as well that are in the guitars that every one of these signature model guitars have. You can really see on the sides here, hopefully, the lighting and everything, that you can see the oranginess. It's not a bright orange, but it's just there's some streaks of orange in the brown that, it reminds you that it's not quite rosewood. So, hopefully that was an adequate demonstration of this instrument. It's really been fun to play on and get to know. And yeah, thanks for watching this video.